Hi, my name is Seanny Maloney. I wanted to do this as a response to Chris Crocker's video because he's the one who actually inspired me to start making YouTube videos. I've made a few so far, and they were pretty fun. And basically, I just wanted to show people that, you know, there's lots of different kinds of gay people out there, and that that we're all very diverse and different and stuff like that. This should be a given, but unbelievably, in this day and age, you know, there's still people that think we're absolutely all the same. Of course, there are things that I do have in common with Chris. Blonde hair, you know, bleached blonde hair for one thing. You know, it's like, people ask me, why do you dye your hair, Sean? And I always tell them that, you know, I was blonde when I was a kid, and I got attached to it, and, you know, I always dye my hair blonde for that reason. But basically, so that's sort of in case anybody was wondering about that. But beyond that, more about Chris is that I heard about the Leave Britney Alone video. Leave Britney alone! She's a human! And mostly people were making fun of it, and they were making fun of Chris, and I felt like they were making fun of him, you know, for not only for being really overdramatic, which obviously Chris does a lot of acting in his videos, but also I felt like they were also making fun of his being gay. And so I had to check out the video, and I was like, I really want to defend this kid. And also, you know, I thought he was pretty cute. And I almost felt bad for him while I was watching the video. I was like, you know, this is really genuine, you know, even if he's acting. You know, he obviously cares, you know. And while, you know, it's Britney Spears, you know, he was right that the tabloids were being very unfair to her, and the stalkerazzi, you know, were always after her and always trying to get her into compromising poses and stuff like that. So they were just, whatever problem she was going through at the time, they were just adding to it. I feel like that's exactly what Chris was saying. And I really admired the fact that he just can get out there and really express himself, and even sort of put himself in positions that aren't always flattering, you know. And he's just very real, and I'm not quite as flamboyant as him. I don't dress in women's clothes or anything like that. But basically, and I wanted to make a little more down-to-earth type of videos that were just me expressing the things that only I can express the way that I can express them. You know, because I tend to be very articulate, smart. You know, I have a gift for speech. So I want to use my gifts. And, you know, I mean, another thing that a big difference between me and Chris is, you know, I actually consider myself a Christian. Now, I think that's, a pretty big thing, because when people find out I'm a Christian, they say, how can you possibly be a Christian? You're gay. And then I have to sort of explain to them that I just have a different interpretation on the Bible that I believe is true, and, you know, and that not everybody has the same point of view, you know, and that's basically what I'm trying to get out, is that maybe there's a different way of looking at things, you know. It's kind of I notice that my perspective is often very different than other people. And that could possibly be because that I was by myself during a lot of my childhood, so I was just basically very isolated. I was a military brat. We moved around a lot. It's kind of hard to make really good, long-lasting friends when you're doing that. So it sort of made me, like, kind of a loner. And while eventually I developed better social skills over time, I still had, like, sort of, like, developed on my own, sort of independently of other people's, other than, like, my family's. And, even them, I used to spend just in lots of long hours alone in my room and stuff like that. And I had a lot of adversity when I was growing up, which I'm gonna go through in, like, other videos. But basically, I just feel like I might have a unique perspective on things, and I definitely want to share that. And I really thank Chris Crocker for inspiring me to do that here on YouTube. I think that's really awesome, and I want him to know that his videos, that he has an effect on, like, gay people that watch his videos, and the gay youth that's, like, in the closet, and like it or not, I feel like gay people are we're ambassadors of our culture and of our sexual orientation and of who we are, and I think it's very important for us to try to be, we almost gotta be better people than our straight contemporaries, whether they be our allies or not. I think it's very important because there's a movement, and we have to think about the future generations of gay people and making it easier for them. Like, when I was 17, I decided, you know what, I want to be like the gay Martin Luther King. I want to be the one who, like, just ends this whole struggle for all of us and just brings... I don't want it to be an issue anymore, because I don't want any gay kids to get called faggot on the playground anymore. I've been called faggot a whole bunch of times in my life. It hurts my feelings a lot. I've had people try to jump me for being gay. I didn't hit on them. I didn't do anything to them. They just found out that I was gay and they wanted to kick my ass. It's like, I just think it's wrong, no matter who you are, whether it's race, sexual orientation, gender, any of those things that you can't control, to be judged for them. And I think it's important that people learn that you cannot control sexual orientation, because personally, there was a time when I tried to change my sexual orientation, and I failed miserably, and I ended up just getting suicidally depressed. So, I think, those whole ex-gay therapy things and stuff like that some people believe in, I just think they're very wrong. But, back to Chris, I just think he's pretty awesome, and I hope that some of his fans are interested in getting to know me. So, thank you. I'll see you later.